Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to Reality Hour. I'm Adam Samuel. Today, we are talking about the conclusion of the American Idol auditions and first episode. It's not week, it's first episode of Hollywood Week. And there's a lot to talk about, including an extra performance, an extra audition after the Oscars. And I got to ask, my co host, Grace, did you make it to watching the show when it premiered?
I didn't watch the show when it premiered. I actually just finished watching it when I got home from work today, both episodes.
Yeah, what time did it actually air?
After midnight is when it started.
Gosh.
So,
yeah. And Eric, my other co-host,
I had my DVR set, and it only caught like 20 minutes of it because after the Oscars, they had to show the news, and then they
had to show. Yeah. Regardless, Oscars were good, except for, I don't want to talk about.
It had two low points. One is the obvious. I don't know about you guys. Did you guys see the We Don't Talk About Bruno performance? Because we don't talk about that performance because I don't know what that was.
All I want to say is that yay, Coda won. That was fantastic. Anyway,
Andrew Garfield lost. The
only thing I cared about was Coda, and that it won. So let's see. I'm just gonna speak on behalf of the co-hosts that I have, and we're gonna say that we're barely gonna touch on the top 24.
Yeah.
The last auditions.
We'll just yada yada
yada.
Whoever made it. Maybe just overall between the two of you. Do you have any contestants that stood out from this special 1 hour episode?
I will say Scarlett was really, really great in my opinion. And I was kind of pissed that they didn't air her audition at a time when people were watching. And that was the only one I really cared about.
What about you, Grace?
It was nice to see Yoli again. The only thing I really remembered about her from AGT was her name. But
same.
She's completely different now.
Yes, completely.
She is
changed her image,
unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just a very, very night and day from when we saw her last. But she was still pretty good. I kind of want to give a shout out. I will say of this crop, the contestants that I really enjoyed, I would say Katira Love was probably my favorite, if I'm being completely honest. I thought she killed this episode back to back. She had her introduction, and then she was again in Hollywood Week, and it was another one of my favorites. And she's another one I have my eye on. Did either of you like Ava Maybe?
Maybe. Sorry. I know. It was the obvious joke. But...
She's got to do some songs with me. What are some songs with Maybe that she could do? Maybe This Time?
Yeah, the only ones I can think of are for musicals. There's that. There's Maybe from Annie. They're all musicals.
Okay.
Just keeping the pun game going.
Okay, fine.
Oh God.
I just want to dive right into our to the main topic, which is Hollywood Week, because we have a lot of performances to go through.
All right.
Well, I have more notes this week than I've had all season.
So. All right. So let's talk about the episode. But before we kind of actually get into the deep dive, there were some some mentors brought on to the season.
And we barely got to see any of them.
That we barely got to see. Lita Wise had a full performance on YouTube that they uploaded.
And I'm pissed David didn't. But anyway, let me just say.
David wasn't the one who put out new music this week.
Not this week, he didn't. You're right. But in the past couple months. Anyway, I will say David really got the short end of the stick on this because there weren't enough rock contestants. That's the reason. But some of the contestants that should have been assigned to David were not, like Tristan, for example. Tristan, I think, should have absolutely
so weird.
Yeah. And Ava, maybe Ava should have been in the rock category and not the pop category.
There are a couple who are iffy, and David got one contestant for the entire episode we saw, and it was just such a letdown.
Who was it again? Who was this one?
It was not even a good one. It was just the guy I don't care. All I'll say was that they highlighted Dream Big when they were showing David's time on Idol, and of all of the performances to highlight, why the frick would they pick that one? Because that was just a corny thingy picked because he got to pick a coronation song, but he wasn't going to actually release, and that was the one. And anyway, they did no research. And if you're going to and if the reason was because they had to show something on the finale stage, show the world I know. That was a fantastic performance. This was terrible. Anyway,
Eric, it's just an intern like going on YouTube and like just typing in David Cook American Idol and clicking the first one.
But that wouldn't be the first one. You would see Hello or Billie Jean is what you would see. But anyway,
they were committed. They were scrolling a little bit.
Anyway, I will say I'm confident that it was the fault of the editors, but the alumni's advice was only slightly less useless than Bobby Bones's. So, it was kind of a letdown. The alumni were the biggest letdown of the episode.
But what did you think of their actual mentoring? Grace, I want to throw this to you.
That's what I was saying. It was only slightly less useless than Bobby Bones.
That's all they're really supposed to do. They're just there to kind of say cliches.
Yeah.
Yeah, we barely saw any of them, so I couldn't really pick anything up.
Exactly. I'm confident it's editing. I'm sure they actually had actual advice, but we just.
I'm pretty sure they kind of just were brought in for like crowd shots. Like
we've seen David Cook mentor. He was a mentor on season 13, and he was actually pretty good, except when he said, "I'm so glad I'm not on this season." I'm like, well, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure he was too old to audition for season 13. I know he's too old now, but like I think that's like when Kelly Clarkson was mentor. She's like, "I wouldn't have made it on this season." I'm like, "No, you wouldn't, Kelly. You're too old." But
that's not the reason. Anyway. The reason is that,
God. But like you also could just think of it this way. Usually there's like 300 contestants that make it to Hollywood Week. I'm sure because of COVID, it's maybe like half of that. So 150. And we had 7 alumni that came back. And it was one day, like, or maybe 2 before they kind of filmed their performances. How much mentoring are you going to do in that many times? And when they're divided that much, I mean, I'm sure David Cook did a lot of got a lot of one-on-one time because
yes, he did because he had one contestant.
But everyone else, like I'm thinking like Lauren Elena, Jordan Sparks. Like
Jordan Sparks was super busy. Yeah, they were all of them were busy except David. David got a very quick easy session.
I liked Lita Wise. I thought he was a great mentor. I thought he was good. I liked Haley, especially liked Haley.
I was happy to see Haley. I was really happy to see Haley.
And
I was
Jordan.
happy with the alumni that they chose. I will say that. Obviously, my favorite alumni was one of them, but there was I was happy that they picked good people to bring back. And even if they didn't really show enough of them to make me think they did a good job mentoring, because I don't think they had the chance to, or they were edited out of it, I was still happy that they brought back alumni, especially alumni from the Fox era, because we haven't seen any alumni from the Fox era basically since.
But there was just like sometimes I would just be watching this and I'd just have this thought. And I just get upset that the show didn't do it. Like, why did we have a scene of Lauren and Haley together?
Don't they hate each other?
I don't think they do. Hate each other. I mean, I don't think they hate each other.
I don't know. Like, I like the. I don't want to say continuity.
It would have been fun to see that, but there's a lot of things that would have been fun to see. I have like 2 other like assorted notes. Like general notes about like the episode before we get into the actual deep dive. One is these platinum ticket winners are getting so heavily pimped. Like, did you notice like how it was like they're on like the balcony? Clark Beckham and his recap, which was great this week, basically said like we're looking down at the peasants and like, yep, that's it.
So I had another thought about that because I this actually like slipped my mind. So people who get the platinum tickets, they get to skip the first round, right? And this
year, pick their duet partner.
Yeah. So that was what I was thinking.
That's surprise.
It should be also another, like all the contestants now stand on the stage and they get to, pick who they got. But I'll be honest, like I don't really like any of them. I mean, I think they're okay.
The platinum ticket people?
The platinum tickets. I mean,
I thought 2 of them were good.
They were good, but I didn't like. I'm not really invested in watching.
They weren't mind-bogglingly good. Like so much better than everyone else. That they deserve to be treated like the way they were exactly. And then the last little plug is that Ella Henderson's song "Brave" was played in the background at one of the scenes, and I was happy to hear that. And that's it.
Wait, so we have I'm dumb. Tell us. So next week we're going to have 2 episodes. Are they gonna be?
Yes.
So
Duets
the
and
first.
showstoppers.
So at the end of Showstoppers, are we going to have our top 24?
I think so. Yes.
I think so. And then
That's
they're going to
probably
Hawaii live.
That's probably because of COVID, right? That they cut the
No.
round, or because they need
Well,
the.
this is how they've done it the past couple of years. So,
But why are they? I like. For me, this is. It used to be, I would say, one of my favorite parts of the show. Like
it was never my
after
favorite.
Hollywood Week, and then there'd be like one more performance before the Green Mile, like the
Okay.
Las Vegas round. Like season 11 and 10 were my favorite. That's just how I like that middle round. But let's get into the deep dive, shall we?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Is there like a graphic or something? There used to be like it would.
There was,
It's a-
but there's not anymore. Thanks for reminding me, but I need to put that back in. Anyway, let's start with Mike Parker, shall we?
Yes.
Who was
So-
in the country genre, and there's the first joke of the episode.
Why is it a joke, Eric?
Because he is not country at all. He was good. He was really good, but he was not country.
Yeah, he auditioned with a country song, and he sang a country song this time too. But
But
he
his voice isn't
sounds like-
country.
I know, and that's kind of the thing, and we see it far too often that, like, anyway, I don't want to talk too much about it. I didn't really remember him until he sang. He did sing it really well, and this is one of those songs, Burning House, that you really can't play with too much. It's very soft and simple, and I didn't think it deserved a mid-song standing ovation from Lionel and Luke, but when do they ever? I still thought it was good though.
I really don't like this whole dividing the contestants into genres. I mean, I get it to simplify it for the audience, but I hate it. I like the random. Like now, it just feels okay. Here's going to be our country contestant. Here's going to be our rock contestant. Like I'd like when they were able to do different genres and explore. It just feels like
That hasn't been the
pigeonholing
case
people
for
too.
years, So
What was that?
that wasn't. It hasn't been like that since before you started watching. So I don't know what you're complaining about.
For
It's
the
not
lines
to
of 10?
simplify things for the audience. It's to simplify things for the producers when they're making their casting decisions.
Yeah. It's really what this whole thing is. The whole Hollywood Week is really just a longer casting process, just played out.
Okay.
I thought Mike was good though. He was solid.
Yep.
Don't think he's gonna. I think should he make top 24? I think he's out pre-top 12, but still pretty solid.
Kaylin
Robertson.
Mercy.
What was that?
The song is called Mercy. I don't know the song either.
Are we gonna go through every single it's gonna?
I'm not talking about anyone who didn't make it through. So
Okay.
Well, she did.
I remember her. She was the one who she was with the boyfriend, right?
I don't know.
You act like
All
I
I'm saying
remember.
is that the only thing
There are a lot of contestants.
Yeah,
Like
there
this
are.
is
what I'll say, what I wrote down for this one was that high notes were clearly off, and they stood up for it. So, right out of the bat, standing ovations are meaningless on this show. Okay.
Haven't they been for a while though?
Oh, they've been for years, but still.
All right, Olivia Faye. next. Yeah, not a good song choice. Way too repetitive. I didn't think she was gonna make it, but they didn't really show anybody who didn't. So
Sarah Beth Tate.
the only one who didn't sing a country song, but this song has been covered by country singers. Did they show her audition? Because I don't remember her at all. But there's we see 500 blonde country singers every year. They're all starting to run together at this point.
Yes, exactly.
Except for
Kelsey
Carrie
Dolan.
Underwood.
Kelsey Dolan.
Girl was a mess.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel bad because the nerves are going to be a serious issue because she has a nice voice and no confidence, and it's really sad.
It kind of feels like a little exploitative.
Yes, and therefore we're going to move on.
Well,
I'm trying to speed run past the ones I don't really care about.
all right. So R&B, we got Ruben Studdard as our mentor. We have Za up first, doing "One and Only" by Adele. I
Screwed it
love
up
this
from the
song.
beginning.
What was that?
She screwed it up right from the beginning, and they didn't really show much of her, so I kind of knew she was done at that point. Also,
Oh yeah, it was obvious.
can y'all believe they brought Ruben Studdard back?
He looks good.
I was about to say he looks really good. So
Yeah, I actually, this is tangent time, but several years ago, he went on The Biggest Loser.
I remember I watched it just for that. I was just watching it for
Yeah,
him.
and he did not do very well, and I'm thinking like, okay. And then the last few times I saw him, I was like, okay. Didn't really keep up with it, but
it's fine.
hello. And then we got
Leah Marlene.
Yeah, let's just wait. Before we get to Leah, wait, Leah, didn't we have?
Tobias.
Tobias and Katara.
Yeah.
Tobias overdid it. Katara was the best performance of the episode so far, easily.
I would say overall, I still think she was one of the best. Like, this girl came out of nowhere, and I'm very much. She's possibly one of my favorites, if I'm being completely honest.
I think she's definitely in my top 10. So.
Yeah. It's just it feels effortless. Like, just watching her. Like, I'm telling you,
she's hard to do when you're singing Whitney. Although, like, that song is
one
that actually do sing well. I don't think I've ever heard anybody sing this song badly. Maybe some bad X Factor auditions from 500 years ago, but that's really all I can think of.
Yeah, so I'm giving my platinum tickets going to Katara so far. Maybe we should. Do we get like one or two this episode?
Platinum tickets?
Yeah.
No, because that's fast. We don't do that. We do a draft.
Okay, well, I'm gonna break the rules anyway. I'm giving one to Katara. I'm gonna give 3 this episode.
You're ready for Adam's meaningless platinum tickets.
Next up, well, can I give one to Lita Wise?
Sure, you can talk about Lita Wise, but if you want.
In the beard.
First Idol winner I've ever seen. I ever watched the show. He was my
watching.
Whatever. I started watching top 12, top 10, and he was my favorite. And that first season, him and Siobhan Magnus, they were. Eric is like, that's a name I haven't heard in a very long time. Eric doesn't remember, but
I remember. I remember
all that screaming.
I remember her first performance being good and the live shows and everything else being terrible. That's all I remember.
Moving on. Leah Marlene, Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. This is an interesting one for me. What did you think, Grace?
The 12 string was cool. The arrangement was kind of cool, but I feel like this song doesn't really work without the punk rock energy. And you're not going to get that from the indie folk category. But she did sing it pretty well.
I just love her. I'm sorry. I just really, really like her. Personality-wise, she's fantastic. Like the song choice. Love that she flipped it. She's probably in my top 5 for the season.
I think she is a little too much. This could just be the show, the playing it up. It just seems like, I don't want to say, I almost don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, she comes in like, I'm a weirdo from North. Like, it just seems to try. But I will say,
the same way about some other contestants whose names I'm not allowed to say on the air, but they just try too hard to be wacky, and it comes across as just not okay.
And that could just be, like I said, because she knows she has like 30 seconds. It's something you can kind of more measure with the progression of the season.
I enjoy it, whatever.
But the performance itself, I think her voice reminds me of it's like a pop punk voice, but I don't like her arrangements of the songs. I remember not really loving her audition. I would have loved to have heard her sing this just as it is.
No. As is would not work with her voice. So.
Well, then something where it's not totally doing such a flip with the arrangement. Okay. I think she is a contestant that I worry is gonna go too far with one of them. You know, it's going to be like a Todrick Hall moment.
Disagree. Anyway.
Hashtag Idol disagree.
No.
Do you remember that?
I do remember
14?
that, definitely. That was season 13. Or no, it was season 12, I think.
I was going to say,
12 or 13.
We don't talk about season 13, although a lot of people don't talk about season 12 either. But
anyway, Fritz.
Season 13 was Jax, right?
No, that was Caleb.
No, that was 14.
No, Gina.
Anyway, Fritz.
Oh.
Really liked him this time. Was not crazy about his audition, but I did like him this time, and I don't normally go for his type.
Eric?
Great song choice. Miles better than his audition.
Yes.
And I'm going to call it right now. If we get a White Calf Guitar winner, it's him.
I'm going to say second platinum ticket. It's going to Fritz. I think he's got a good shot here, but I really was thinking about this. I was like, is he more Philip Phillips or like a Thomas Stringfellow? You know what I mean? Like, is he really going to last in this game? Yeah, he's another of my favorite. I'm gonna say it. Him and Katira so far of this episode are the real standouts. The thing is, I think with Fritz is he obviously knows he's not the best singer in the competition, which is always good to be self-aware about. I think that's going to
knows he can't sing too, so it works.
But I think it's going to push him to do other things. You know, like once you can acknowledge that, you kind of can play to your different strengths, which is arrangements, you know, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, he is. I would say he might be picked early in a draft.
We'll see.
All right. Well,
I think it's going to be one of our first picks. I'm just saying right now. So,
but now we go on to the soul round. We got some Haley Reinhart, and let's start off with Danielle Finn here. And Eric, I'm going to throw this one to you. What do you think?
She sounded good, but it was basically a carbon copy of Adele's version, and just she sounded like a lesser version of Adele, which again, everyone who thinks Adele sounds like a lesser version of Adele. But I wasn't blown away by it because it just reminded me too much of the original.
What about you, Grace?
I don't know if this is just one of those songs that you can't play with. She did sing it well, but it was kind of messy, actually. And I still have that Adele concert burning up space on my DVR. It's been there for like 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing, Gil. But who knows?
We'll see. Yeah. But for Danielle Finn, she reminds me of Madison from last season. Or was Madison 2 seasons ago?
I don't know. Where's Madison?
Depends which Madison you're talking about.
The one who did Hotline Bling?
That's last season, I think. That wasn't Madison Vanderbilt.
I think she's good. Like, I think Danielle's good. I don't think she would have a lot of longevity, though. I think she's someone who I could see getting cut pretty early, but still pretty solid. And weirdly, a lot of people I know are talking about her. But let's move on. Christian Guardino, our AGT contestant. This is another moment where I just wanted one moment where like they're doing one of those confessionals. What?
Yoli and Christian at the same time.
Yeah, just like there could be no attention drawn to it. Just have them like sitting next to it. And you know when they do those like fake confessionals where they're just like talking like, oh, I'm so nervous.
They wouldn't do that because they don't want people thinking about other shows. And
but come on, it's like that's the fun of this. That's why it's, you know, so, or like imagine if there's a top 24 and they get sent in together.
Okay.
No, come on. This is like
happened before, actually. The first quarterfinal, Christian got the dunking save, Yoli got the judges save. So it's happened before.
They were on the same episode?
They were on the same
first
they were on the same season.
The quarterfinal, they were on the same episode. The semifinals, they were on different episodes. So yes.
So they know each other and they're not like, that's gotta be like, did they know they were both auditioning at the same time, or were they in Hollywood Week and Christian saw her and maybe like didn't recognize her because she looked so different. And then she was like, Christian, like I wanted that.
I'm glad you wanted that. Anyway, this was clearly better than his audition, but parts of it still
Nice.
kind of bugged me. It got better as it went on, but I'm still not really on board with Christian yet.
Yeah, I'm not either. I think he's solid. I just can't, like, I don't know. It just feels very.
Something's a little off for me.
It's not that it's off. Like he's good. Everything's kind of there. It just there's nothing really to gravitate towards, to root for. I don't know. Like it's just. Grace, help me.
I loved it. This is the kind of contestant that I go for on these shows. Usually they're more of like women of his type that I go for, but runs were so smooth. A lot of people were comparing him to Elliot Yami from season 5, who I know nobody remembers besides me. And I kind of see that. They finally mentioned his eye condition, which was mentioned on that other show down the street.
Which shall not be
It was the
named.
entire thing about his audition at the other show.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of the audition. But anyway. God.
I mean, like, I think he's going to make top 24 at this point. I don't know how much further he'll make beyond that.
They're hyping him up a lot. So yeah.
All right. But if he makes top 24, like, I think he's cut top 10. Like, I think he goes out in, like, the, the big-voiced belter, like, Ada Vox, like, top 10.
For those of you who are watching this right now, go back to last season where we said basically the same things about Willie Spence, and we had to eat crow because of it. Not saying that's not going to happen again, but, it could. We were wrong about him. We could be wrong here.
I don't think Willie was better.
Willie was definitely better. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Cole.
All right, Cole.
Okay. He was okay. That's what I wrote.
Yeah, he's our only David Cook cameo. It was really more of a cameo than a mentor.
They all were.
They all were.
And that was the one, like, rock. He didn't even seem like a rock contestant.
He wasn't. Tristan was much more of a rock contestant.
I mean, he's doing Vienna by Billy Joel. It's like.
Anyway, that was disappointing. Morgan Gruber.
Wait, Emerson first.
No, Morgan
Is it
was
Emerson and Meyerson?
It's Emerson, but Morgan was briefly montaged. Demi Lovato songs are tough even for them to sing live, and Morgan pulled it off really nicely.
I thought Morgan's excerpt was phenomenal.
Yes.
I did. Emerson, let's see. Some of the notes I thought were a little rough, but it was clearly because she was emotional. I did like it a lot overall, though.
Yeah, this wasn't my favorite, honestly. I remember really liking her audition, but she made it through, so I'm still hopeful we'll see some more good performances here.
Mm-hmm. And at least an Adele song that isn't overdone as hell. I don't know. Is this what we're going for now? I love that song though. All right. Then we got a performance from my draft champion.
Yeah.
And that's all we're going to say before we go back to the country singers.
Grace with Chase Beckham. Yeah, the reigning champion of the Idol podcast. I'm still honestly a little shocked. Well, not really. I mean, I knew it seemed pretty obvious he was going to win, but
by the end it was obvious, but still disappointing. Anyway,
audition.
You got it from the first audition. Yes, we will never forget it.
So who's that person this year?
How much we try.
I haven't found them yet. Which is weird. Like, again, hashtag Grace is losing it.
Oh, I know exactly who's going to win this season.
Is it the Jacob guy?
No, it's Fritz. I'm calling it now.
We'll see. But we move on to country with Chase Beckham. There's a lot going on here. Do you want to talk about Riley Madison?
Good.
Not my thing.
I like when she met Lauren Elena. I like that moment. That was kind of. That's why it's fun to have these contestants back, and
I love Lauren Elena. She was probably my favorite contestant on season 10, which I know is an unpopular opinion.
I voted for her to win. I remember.
Between her and Scotty, it was obviously should have been her. But
yeah, I remember. I really liked her coronation song.
But the top two should have easily been Haley Reinhart and James Durbin, no question.
Okay, like
it should it should have been Haley and Pia.
No, James Durbin.
No, Haley was Pia was robbed. No. To this day, is the biggest stolen contestant.
Adam is wrong. Hashtag Adam is wrong.
No, take that away. Who would you say, Grace? Who should have been the top two?
I'm not getting involved here.
I need one name.
I'm not getting involved here, but it was kind of weird having Lauren on because one, she didn't win, and the person that did win is a country singer, and two, I think she's kind of one of those alumni who's successful in spite of American Idol, not necessarily.
100%. 100%.
Like, she's doing well now. Scotty did well after he won, and then kind of took a back seat. Lauren's doing well now, and it's been 11 years.
Yeah, she was on she was on Dancing with the Stars. Were we doing a draft for that season?
No. I
would have picked her.
Okay. That was Tom Bergeron's last year. R.I.P.
Are they going to bring him back? Is that going to happen?
I don't know. But the fact that they fired the executive producer that fired him and cast Sean Spicer makes me very optimistic for next season. Anyway, Riley was good, old school country, just not my thing. And then we got Burning House, and then Noah. If anyone from this episode wins, I was thinking Noah immediately. I was like, okay, I see a dude. I see a gray shirt. I see a good-looking guy, although I'm 8 years older than he is, so I might need to watch that. I don't know why he wasn't happy with his performance. I don't understand that.
Not my thing at all.
Yeah.
Not mine either.
I would say, of the rankings of these genres, country's probably at the bottom for me of kind of the...
Probably? Question mark?
But we had so many country singers win and do well after the show.
Yes, and that's the problem.
That is the problem.
And all the other shows.
Guess what? I'm creating a new banner right now. Adam is right.
What did I say now?
Wait, you're not happy with being right?
I feel like I would have rather been right about the other thing. No.
Okay.
Oh God, Eric has too much power here. This is.
He does.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, let's talk about pop, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, start Blake first.
Wasn't he?
He was in the pop category.
Was he pop?
Yeah.
With Jordan Sparks,
who is a queen of queens.
God bless her. She was busy this
I love
episode.
her so much.
Yeah, and we got Sir Blake and Ava Maybe.
Sir Blake was fantastic. Definite step up from his audition.
I also really liked his audition. I was
iffy on it, but I thought this was fantastic. So
I'm gonna say third platinum ticket to Sir Blake.
Okay.
So I've got 3 out. I gave one to Katira, Fritz, and Sir Blake. If we get another contestant later on, I might have to take one back. But I really like Sir Blake.
All right, Ava. Sir Blake I liked too, better than I remember him being. I thought the do-rag was too long, but I don't understand these kids' style choices. Ava, why was she
Ava
in the pop
maybe
category?
this time?
Well, no, she sang Roxanne.
I know.
She sang a rock song, and she sounded like a rock singer. So why was she there?
Yeah. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. What?
It was never a maybe performance for me.
I like the nickname Ava maybe this time. Is maybe this time.
No, there have been seasons
get Eric on board.
There have been seasons where my friend and I have given contestants weird nicknames. Some of them are borderline offensive, so I'm not going to list them out.
What's a non-offensive one?
I don't even know. I mean, my favorite one is one I can't say on the air. Oh, probably Elise Testone. I called her Squidward. She was always grumpy. Thought she was way better than Let's see. Always grumpy. Thought she was way better than she actually was. And no one could say her last name. So I was thinking like that episode where they're like Squidward tennis balls, Squidward tent poles. That's what I was thinking of. And that's how it popped up.
Okay. Fantastic.
Anyway.
Sam, I'm not even going to talk about this because I didn't watch it. I just didn't want to say. Yeah, of course. Immediately, like round 1 of Hollywood Week. And they spent so much time hyping his. Oh, God. It just pisses me off so much. So I want to move on and forget it ever happened.
I'm going to mourn Luke Taylor getting cut because I really wanted to go to a hometown visit.
Sorry.
All right, let's talk about Cadence and Tristan. These are kind of the 2 back-to-back.
Wait, no, Kevin Goulage first.
All right.
Well, Kevin and his piano playing. What's Twitter for?
I didn't like the joke start. The performance itself was okay. And now Cadence. I was a little surprised they montaged her, sort of.
Yeah.
It was not as good as her audition, but she's still one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Adam?
Yeah, I remember really being high on her from the audition. This was like she kind of seemed really freaked out, like just really nervous. Both of these contestants, I feel like, were having minor panic attacks on the stage. You know,
You mean Tristan as well?
Tristan. So here's the deal. I've known a lot of people like Tristan, and it's kind of like they're telling jokes to kind of deflect from the fact that they're maybe like freaking out a little bit. You know, like sometimes when people get nervous, they get like really quiet. He's like the kind of person just the opposite. Like he just really puts it into overdrive. Like when he was talking with was he talking to Haley for some reason? Why was he talking to Haley? If he was
Soul?
I thought he was with
I don't know. Whatever. I will say, I thought Tristan was way better than his audition in this performance.
I did too.
And I kind of love his voice. I'm sorry. He might be in my top 5.
Not for me, I would say. I think he was good. I don't think I would go that far.
He's in my top 5.
He definitely chilled out more. The jacket was a bit much. So
I don't care. I just like his voice a lot. Jacob
I don't
Moran,
understand why he wasn't rock though, but let's go back to the pop category and end out this episode.
Jacob Moran. This was clearly not as good as his audition, which was the best one of the season, no question. He is still my favorite because his audition was just so far and above the only one that I got excited about. And Luke Bryant calling him a maybe. I regret none of my Luke Bryant stupid person jokes from previous weeks. I wish I had thought of another one for now, but Jacob Moran is not an Ava maybe.
I kind of thought he was trying too hard.
An Ava maybe this time.
No, what?
I kind of thought Jacob was trying too hard. But that happens a lot. The thing that bugs me with these returning contestants is I feel like they have like, why do they have to consider last season too? They're like, we saw them do so much better last season. This is a new season. You kind of have to start them fresh.
I feel like we barely even saw him last season. Like that's.
I don't remember him at all from last season.
I don't even think it was last season.
It was. It was season 17. It was years ago. But anyway,
years ago.
Yeah, years ago. God, I'm hoping that he pulls off a showstopper in the next round because I really do want him to go far.
The showstopper's the last round.
Pulls off a showstopper in the next round, not the. What?
I just had to get that cheap joke in there.
Oh, I wasn't sure you were joking. Actually, that's the problem. I thought you were serious there. Anyway, Douglas Mills.
Junior.
Yes, Junior. James Arthur is one of my favorite singers ever. This did not compare.
Is that a James Arthur song?
It is.
I was making this episode, so I was sleeping.
What?
What about Nicolina?
He asked what the song was.
The song was Trainwreck by James Arthur.
Okay. Nicolina, Everything I Wanted. Everything a lot of the fans wanted.
I like this better than an audition. I still don't think she can win, but she's in my top 5.
I love what she did with this song. I've said this before, but Billie Eilish is not the type of singer that people. She's not like a vocal pyrotechnical person. People like her because of her artistry, and Nicolina made the song work for her, and it was really great. And I think she's a lock for top 24.
Of course, I think she's fantastic. Okay, now let's talk about the performance to the peasants, shall we? Our platinum ticket winners.
Don't stop believing.
I am desensitized to the song too. Unholy levels. I've heard it.
Joe McElderry sang it better, but he sings everything better.
Okay. Platinum ticket winners. They sounded great together. Hunter Girl was definitely the weakest of the 3, hands down.
Was the best?
Weakest. The other 2 were about on par.
This is a Grace problem. Actually, it's not a Grace problem. Sleazak has the same problem. But I just don't like it when contestants are pushed so far down my throat. It's like, you will like them. Like, it turns me off. And, like, I've seen it so many times, not so much on Idol, but, like, on The Voice a million times. And all the other shows. And, like, usually they don't live up to it. And that's kind of how I'm feeling a little bit here, but it's not quite there yet for me. But I think it's going to get there pretty soon.
I will say it's not their fault. I don't want to blame them for that. I do want to blame the producers for that because I have the same issue. It's like these people are being piped so goddamn much, and so it's annoying because I think that Kennedy has potential to do well. I haven't seen anything spectacular yet, and Jay was good. Hunter Girl, I don't get it all really, and none of them are in my top 5 personally.
I don't think any of them are going to win because I was thinking back to Golden Buzzers. I'm like, since they introduced Golden Buzzers, season 9 doesn't count. But there's only been, I think, 2 winners that weren't Golden Buzzers.
Yep,
3 count Dustin and Shin.
Lim.
Well, Paul was a Judge Cuts Golden Buzzer, which is different.
That counts.
But all the other ones were audition Golden Buzzers. And even though, like, they all did deserve to win, they're still getting more hype than they probably deserve. Like, some of the Golden Buzzers live up to it. Like, I mean, Darcy Lynn is the GOAT. We know this. But, like, Mandy Harvey, who was Simon's Golden Buzzer, who I actually thought was going to win, she didn't live up to it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think goes home first of the 3?
Of the 3 platinum ticket winners, who do I think goes home first? Jay. Who do I hope goes home first? Hunter Girl.
Who do you think is the last one standing?
Probably this is a big. What if one of them doesn't make top
12? None of them make it.
One of them doesn't make what?
What if none of them make top 12?
Oh, they're all making top 12.
I was thinking top
I wouldn't be so sure.
They're being pushed so goddamn much that at least 2 of them are making top 12. I think Jay might get cut, possibly.
These contestants are smart. One of them's like, it's good to be a judge's favorite. I'm like, you watched this show. You did your homework.
Who said that?
His favorite. Just ask Lauren Elena. Oh, whoops, did I go there? I love Lauren.
We met in Nashville. God, I just have a memory in my head of Randy talking about Lauren.
All right, Grace. I know I can't get Eric to say it, but I'm going to ask you. Who are you giving your 3 platinum tickets to this week?
Oh, I can do it.
I would give mine to Christian, Fritz, and Nicolina.
Eric?
Based on this week's performances alone, or based on who I like the most from the whole season so far?
This week alone.
That's a different question.
Let me guess. Jacob, Christian,
Not
and
Christian.
Nicolina.
No.
Like,
Not Christian.
close.
No. My three favorites right now are Nicolina, Cadence, and Jacob. But my favorites from this week were probably Nicolina, Tristan, and
Wow, Tristan.
I actually really like his voice. And I think my last favorite would probably be between Fritz and Cadence.
I gotta be honest.
Gil won the Pun of the Week award. Hunter Girl, ironically, has a target on her back.
Okay.
I just got it. Like, it took a second. But it looks like next week we'll probably be doing a draft. Like, we'll have a top 20.
We could do it before top 24 again. Yeah, let's do it before top 24.
The top 24 being revealed next week.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, like, midweek, we'll do another podcast. We'll
do a bonus pod for a draft.
And, I see them right here. I see 3 of them. Do you see what I'm pointing at?
Yes,
Grace?
Yes, we see.
Getting at one of them. And, any other thoughts on the episode?
I'm moving you, Adam, so that Grace can keep her crowns.
Wait, put me back.
Oh no, this is fun.
Oh
anyway,
boy. Where can we find you, Eric?
There.
Where can we find you, Grace?
Reality2_Grace on Twitter. Also running our Reality Hour Twitter handle. It's at Reality Hour Pod. And catching up with American Song Contest because I only watched the performance from the contestant who actually won, who ironically was a singing show contestant who was pushed too far down my throat. And I did not like on The Voice, but loved him here. Go Jordan Smith.
And you can find me trying to steal Grace's crown next week, which, speaking of, I just realized something, a bit of housekeeping note for next week. I am not going to be attending next week's podcast.
Right, so we're going to do a draft.
We're going to have to do a draft. Maybe I'll do it while I'm actually going to Disney World, if believe it or not, next week. So
you didn't have to win American Idol to do it.
I didn't even have to win. So I'm actually flying out on should I even say? I don't even know. I'm flying out really early on Wednesday, and to the point where I'm going to be going to bed really early on Tuesday. So unless you guys want to do like a post Monday night episode, otherwise they'll be taking. You guys will be taking care of the episode recap, and maybe I'll, find a like quiet spot and, set up a camera, and we'll do it that way for the draft.
We'll probably. I honestly think what we'll do the draft on like Saturday or Sunday, maybe.
I'm still gonna be there.
Oh, never mind.
I'm leaving Sunday afternoon. So, do you guys recommend any of the certain parks? Any favorites?
You're not going to all of them?
I haven't been
all
to
of them.
Disney World.
Do you know how much a ticket costs?
Wait, but you're going there for a whole week, aren't you?
I'm going for
5 days.
Yeah, but I'm not going every day.
What else will you be doing down there?
Believe it or not, I'm actually going to be working still while I'm there some days. I'm only going for 2 days, and the tickets to go to the park are pretty insane. Do you know how much?
I do.
No joke, $150, which is horrifying.
Okay.
And that's before tax.
Okay, Gil, I'm gonna have to dig through my nicknames and post them, and you have to guess who they are.
Okay.
That could be.
I don't remember a lot of them. So.
But anyway,
while I'm there, by the way, I'm going to grab a Disney crown or something for the podcast win that I'm obviously going to be getting this year.
Okay, you can tell yourself that.
Eric still needs a crown.
Eric, when was the last time Eric won? It was Shin Lim, I think.
Yes, Sam.
No, it was more recent than that. I won with just Sam.
It was just Sam.
Oh.
But he doesn't have a
AKA the
crown
season that doesn't count.
because apparently he's not willing to spend $5 on a crown to rub it in our faces.
It's more of an embarrassment of actually wearing it on camera. It's more of that than the $5.
Y'all are haters.
Okay, what's more embarrassing, the crown or the blanket and the sunglasses?
I feel like the blanket and the sunglasses because that's a mark of defeat.
I would agree. All reasons. But anyway, Adam, we'll talk offline about Disney recommendations.
Oh
I
boy.
have plenty for you.
Well then, until next week, I guess. Hit the home button, Eric.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Good night.